depression. So when you light the candle, for money, you can ask for money. Depression, it will hit you. If not now, later, that means you've got a massive chapter change. And depression, most of the time, when it's a grinding, horrible depression where you feel as if knives are sticking into your skin, and then, I'm sorry to be so graphic, but this is what it feels like sometimes. It's knives, daggers going into you, and you're every day, every second, having it drawn through your body. Anybody feel like that? As if every day, you're unlucky, don't worry, but you'll see some people feel that. Sometimes it's so constricting and horrible. Easy fix, but you have to believe. You light the candle, and that day, you know as soon as you wake up that you're in a depression. You light the candle and say, please get me through the day. If you don't ask, you don't get, okay? So you ask them to get you through the day. What happens, you've got an evil sense of humor, you in the hat. Yeah, hasn't she? Really evil, sorry. So anyway, basically, what happens is you light the candle, and you ask them to get through the day, and what happens is they literally, it's like, the nearest thing I can tell you, it's like candy floss, white light candy floss being a blanket wrapped around you, and you're protected. And instead of feeling as if you're going through a swamp, you know, you can't even put one foot in front of the other, you get it quite deeply. And so therefore you go through the swamp like that. Instead of doing that, what happens is you float through the day. And you actually manage. It's like having a head cold, but you're managing to get through the day. So it's better than having a horrible grinding day, right? So if you don't ask, you don't get. So ask them to help and you float through the day. And it won't, you know, everybody's chapter change is different. Who in here has ever had a depression or is going through a depression? I know who you are. That's going through so grinding, by the way, that you feel as if it's not going to end. Every day is practically the same, that you're functioning, but you don't know how you're functioning, how you're going to work, coming home, functioning. And if those days you're in a major, major chapter change. With those ones, what happens? Do you know what happens with a caterpillar when it goes into a cocoon?
Transforms.
Do you know what happens inside? Do you realize, yeah, it morphs, but the thing is, do you realize that caterpillar melts down to its cellular level inside that cocoon? What are you doing? You're melting down, aren't you? So what happens is your cells are literally being torn apart. Cell from cell and cell. And that's why you're screaming in agony inside, okay? So look at it at that, and that parody I use because it very much shows of what the depression's like. So you're just re-manifesting yourself into a butterfly. But the change is hard, you know? You suffered it you came out of yours about 6 to 8 months ago. 6, 7.5, is that right?
Roughly, yeah.
So basically, yeah, and you're seeing the kind of lightness around you now, right?
Yes, thank God.
Yeah. So anyway, basically, with all of that, if you just see that you're going through a metamorphosis and that you need to just be, not patient, but understand it, you'll be okay. All right? And by the way, I've done a lot of lessons on YouTube. If you do want those sent to you, I've got 17 and I'm going to add a few more. And just make sure you sign on, just say YouTube and I'll send it to you. Okay? Now the candle lesson. You start, now, say you want a better job. You seem to be in a transition, a big one. It started about 5 months ago. Okay, they give me very exact dates. So basically, if you don't know where you're going, and that's all those people call things that come to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I know something's happening, but I haven't got it. So all I am is a mirror, and I can tell you, but I can't tell you specifically sometimes. Sometimes I can, but sometimes I'm not allowed to. Okay? So basically, what happens is I want you to ask them to help you get there, you know, find out what you're meant to be doing. And everything is a choice. And if you don't start shooting the messenger when I say, I can't tell you what I see. I can see it, but I'm not allowed to tell you, because what happens? If I tell you that this is what you're going to be, you've got myopia, and you are going to have blinkers on. You're only going to see one thing, and that's all you're going to see. But so what I tell you is I know that you'll get through certain things, but everything is what? Free will, free decisions, right? Your will. You can make a left, you can make a right, you can go forward, you can say yes and no. It's not my decision, and I don't care. I'm very outspoken, as you might guess. Nobody here or anywhere should tell you what to do. You make your own decisions, you get drawn to the right people, all right? So basically, if you did that, you wouldn't make that decision, the final decision. Eventually, you all do get where you're meant to be. And no decision is a wrong decision. You sometimes beat yourself up about that. No, there's no such thing as a wrong decision, okay? When you light it, you ask for anything and everything.